This is a continuation of the Little Sister, Big Sister tale that began on the 5 Facts tag game video. I had been dating Little Sister for about 5 months. We were both 19 years old, and I met her at the housing community where I was lifeguarding. Now, what happened is she was living at home with her parents, and so was I at the time, looking to get a place of my own. And she was staying with her big sister, who lived in the housing community. Little sister's parents were kind of far away in another part of town. So when we started to go out after a while, Big Sister made a very generous offer and said, why don't you guys just hang out here? You can, there's an extra room. You can basically live here if you want. And that's what happened. We were living there with Big Sister and her kids. Now, I can't explain all the circumstances about the kids. There were actually 3 of them, but the reason I can't explain is that 31 years ago, I promised not to tell certain things, and so I have to just not explain some aspects of the story. But basically, they were living in this house. Big Sister, 3 kids ranging in age from 7, 9, and 10, and myself and Little Sister, both 19. And that's the situation. And sometimes we would all go out and do things like go to the zoo with the kids as a family, and sometimes Little Sister and I would hang out together and do things. And essentially, we were one big happy family. And this went on for maybe 5 months or so. And the next door neighbor, her name was Bev. And we'd met Bev, and Bev knew me from the community. I was guarding at a lake and also at a pool, and then it was a very neighborly thing, because when I was there on the weekends, everyone would be there and everybody knew each other, and Little Sister would be there and that kind of thing. And so it was just very fine. Everything was cool. And then the thing that occurred in the video, 5 Facts involving a kiss, came about. And the end result of that kiss was that, oops, I have to edit that out. Little Sister ended up going back to her parents' home, and Big Sister and I ended up living together. With the 3 kids. But Bev, the next door neighbor, never got the notice, the memo. We didn't really put out the memo. Now, the thing is that back then, this is the late 70s, things like pink shorts and waterbeds were still in style. Both really stupid ideas. But since Big Sister and I smoked a lot, it turned out that the waterbed sprung a leak as a result. And this happened rather suddenly and dramatically, as you can imagine, a large puddle and all. And so what we did is we pulled out the couch in the living room, and we slept there that night. And we figure we'll repair the bed the next day. Well, it just so happens that Bev, sometime that morning, came by, knocking on the door, and believe it or not, right out of the movies, she's going to be asking for a cup of sugar. But what happened is that Big Sister and I, we sleep in the nude, and I don't know if the covers were on or off, because I was asleep. I didn't even hear the knock, but Big Sister's son, 7 years old, not making the connection that it might not be a good idea to open the door, and we were right in the living room area, right reasonably close to that door, just to open it, while we were there sleeping. But he did, and then Bev was there, and I hear Big Sister's voice and Bev's voice, and I'm waking up and reconstructing what's happening, kind of groggy. But anyway, here's how it kind of went. Bev is saying, "Oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry," because, you know, she sees me and Big Sister, and she's a very straight-laced, conservative, middle-aged housewife who's come over to borrow, believe it or not, a cup of sugar. And so Big Sister, who is extremely cool, very casually says, "Oh, no problem, Bev. You know where it is. Go ahead and get it." So Bev goes ahead and she goes to the kitchen and she gets the cup of sugar. And as she is leaving, she turns and says, "I'm sorry" again to us, and she's in complete embarrassment. She turns and walks smack into a column. Now, I know it's terribly unfortunate and it's awful to laugh, but it was very funny. Not only did she hit smack into the column, spill a little sugar on the rug, but she then apologized to the column and ran out the door. There were so many more adventures like that I had with Big Sister. And I loved her dearly. And I still do.